members of the table, members of the diplomatic corps, students, and all the other invited guests present. Recently, the members of the cabinet have been harassing me, saying that indeed I'm a vice president, and what we need in this country is a virtuous president. I hope that it will not attach to me the fact that things have been happening under my stewardship have been somewhat negative. But indeed, I decided that notwithstanding the pressures and the heavy weight of my shoulders recently with the prison breakout and all of that I should be here, primarily to deal with something that has to do directly or indirectly with what happened at the prison. And that has to do with the extraordinary high amounts of people that are there that are being created because of a society that has so many young people who graduate into adulthood and commit the crimes that either they would have thought about during their young period or would have committed and graduated into bigger things, so that they have to stay in a prison as either convicts or as remand prisoners. I want to begin this, because we have 10 minutes, by stating that there have been, and I want to refer to them, a number of reports which have informed the strategy of this government, and at least me, when I became Minister of Public Security, as regards this topic of youth crime, youth violence. Reports which I have paid attention to, in relation to which then I decided to do a couple of things as part of the strategy to counter it. First of all, we had a United Nations report on violence against children in the Caribbean. I think that was 2006. We had a crime, violence and development, trends, cost and policy options in the Caribbean. And these are major reports that have done very big surveys and studies in relation to crime and violence by young people in the Caribbean. Then we had a third one, 2010 UNDP Citizen Security Survey. A fourth one, I and the Future, Investing in Youth for Tomorrow's Community, the report of the Caribbean Commission of Youth and Development 2010 report. And then, of course, what is called the famous Paramaribo Declaration on the Future of Youth in the Caribbean Community. We in the Caribbean, we in Guyana, do a lot of reports. Somehow they're then shelved. And that has to stop. We have to start utilizing the recommendations of these reports to immediately walk the talk, as it were. Because we sometimes do not do that, and we do that to the detriment of all of us. And from these reports, we know that there is a correlation between young people and drugs, young people and alcohol consumption. We know also that if there is going to be a good young person for the future, that is affected by parenting, abusive relationship, unemployment, poverty, and not doing well at school. As a matter of fact, not only the present director of prisons, but the previous one, Mr. Graham, indicated that out of every 5 prisoners in the prison there, Georgetown Prison, Mazzaroni, Lusignan, and all over, only 1 out of those 5 can really read. It's very serious. And so we have a number of things from these reports from which we have to move on and, in a sense, effectuate the recommendations there. We have to limit access to drugs and alcohol to our young people. And that is one of the reasons why, at the very inception of my stewardship, I decided that we must have a curfew. A lot of people got very angry with me, but thank God for the church movement especially. I got major support from them. But from some of the young people, look what Ramjattan come to do to us. We also have to deal with parenting, but it is not only parenting, it is socialization and education at that early stage that must be superior from what it is today. We teach our young people the wrong things, like one aspect of a report had to do with the machismo that we Caribbean people like to teach our young boys. Oh yes, what they must do and what they must not do, and especially with girls and how they must handle that. This machismo at a later stage does damage to the minds of our males. And that is probably why, to a certain extent, the results these days, especially high school results and college results, university results, are proving declining standards in our males as against the females. The reports also indicate that we have to start dealing, even at an early stage, with factors like providing skills training for specific at-risk populations. And we have to learn to map these areas out. And that is one of the reasons that after coming into the administration, each one of the commanders for the various divisions had to have a social program where they're going to incorporate as many children at the divisional command main offices to at least do something progressive with those young kids, especially those who might have come from families that we're going to call dysfunctional, because there also is where we have a huge potential for having young people committing crimes. And doing a number of things to reduce what is called risk factors. Now, what that includes is to ensure that the community's cricket ground or volleyball court or whatever else that they play in that area, the grounds and the facilities are made readily available for young people. And that is reducing, to a certain extent, it happens, and I know that this is definitely a positive, that where there are more cricket grounds and gears and businessmen and professionals who help to support that kind of thing, the crime rates are pretty low. And we could have mapped the areas, and I have mapped them, and we have seen that. And one is going to ask them for a number of businessmen and community leaders to ensure that that happens. It is also the reason why we had to do two surveys, the school survey on drinking and the household survey on drinking and use of alcohol in Guyana. And then that happened in 2016. And boy, that result was terrible. It showed where we are. We are the heaviest drinkers and binge drinkers in the Caribbean. Young people I'm talking about here at school. And we start, and the surveys prove that we start using cannabis and sometimes heavier drugs still at really early age. In one case, it's 11 years old. And when you check out the family background, because the questionnaire had a couple of things to do with that too, it's dysfunctional family again. Both mothers and fathers. And it is a terrible situation. So knowing all of that, we have to make sure that we know, and this is very important, as a government, having gotten the recommendations, identifying those priority ones, and we have done a number of those, and ensure that we find the funding to let what is going to be implementation of those recommendations. We are lucky, I have been lucky, quite frankly, because the IDD did have what is called the CSSP program, citizen security strengthening program. And a component of it had to do with crime and violence in relation to young people. And we have, at the community level then, done two major projects. One is being pursued, the other is right now being completed. And that is 85 vulnerable youths going through what is called entrepreneurial skills training, Youth Built International, an overseas skills training company in collaboration with the Small Business Bureau. And we launched that some months ago at New Amsterdam. 10 minutes ago. Okay. And that was done. Yeah, all right. And that was done with students, 85 students from Sophia and Goyce Avenue and Kanji Belize. But another big one has to do with 20 communities where we're going to select 25 students, 25 young people who are at risk for a period. And the 20 communities of Regan Hope, Kingston, The Penitents, Buxton, Mocha, Curricula, amongst others, and in Region 6, Port Moran, Kildonan, and so on. We are going to train them to be masons, carpenters, electricians, auto electricians, and all that. And we're going to give them $70 per month to ensure that they go to the nearest training school that would be identified with this training. This skills training is important, and I think it's going to work. Apart from that, we're going to do some psychosocial counseling, and this is going to try to raise their levels. I know that it is going to be a difficult task solving this thing because it is somewhat getting institutionalized where young people feel that they could do the wrong things because the wrong things is being done by everybody, high and low. And when a culture starts that bad habit of thinking, of its young people thinking that that can be done, it is going to be very, very dangerous. So we do have a hard task at hand. I want to commend the people that arranged, the Turkeyen campus talks and the persons behind it. This is a wonderful experience for me, and I want to let this also go, as you said, Mr. Griffith, Professor Griffith, that this go to the local areas too, very much the rural areas especially, so that people could understand some of the educational efforts being made by the University of Guyana. Thank you very much.